Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Wayne McLaughlin and Brett McLaughlin. Good on you, Wayne.
Lee,
Brett.
good to see you. Thanks.
Fantastic.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for the company. Have got a nice setup here. How long have you been out here in Wollert?
Worked out about 7 years. Moved from Mill Park.
Right.
We were going to update our house at Mill Park, and it's going to cost too much, so we moved and saved money.
Fantastic. Yeah. It's come on this area.
Well, we were only the third house in the street when we moved.
Oh, really? Yeah. Gee.
So now it's full.
Yeah. There must be about 10,000 people, 10,000 homes in this area.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
drive down Craigieburn East Road, and
Yeah.
it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
All the housing estates,
Yeah.
retirement villages they're building.
Yeah. Amazing. Where do you live, Brett?
Mill Park. So we
Mill Park?
moved around the corner from Mum and Dad, and they moved out the following year. So
Right. That was
doesn't
handy.
say much about me. But yeah, we've been there pretty much the same time they've been here. We've been there 9 years now. So.
Yeah. Yeah. And what do you do, Brett?
I work for Greyhound Racing Victoria. I'm
Mhm.
a grader, so essentially the handicapping version of the Greyhounds. And previous to that, I was with RSN as a producer and host there for 7 or 8 years.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, cricket took a back seat because of racing.
Yeah.
It's pretty much all I've done since I've left school, really. So
Fantastic.
yeah.
Wayne, your journey started way back in the 60s. So I saw a photograph of you the other day in the under-13s Coburg baseball team with Trev Stables,
Yep.
and there were a couple of others. The Straws were there.
Yep.
You played cricket and baseball through your primary school days?
So they didn't play baseball at school. They sort of played rounders and softball.
Right.
Baseball was sort of not known when I was at primary school.
Yeah.
When I went to secondary school, and sort of got the baseball going.
Yeah.
There was always cricket and rounders and softball.
Yeah. Yeah. And were there any other Preston lads there who later went to Preston?
John Deeble,
Johnny, fair player.
just a player, just a pitcher.
Yeah.
Who else? There was Neil Jarvie,
Right. Yeah.
Phil Jobling.
Right.
They all played baseball.
Yeah. And all good cricketers.
Oh, very good cricketers.
Whilst we're talking baseball, you had quite an illustrious career with baseball. You finished up in the Claxton Shield.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you a centre field?
Centrefield. Took it over at Coburg after the great Nooker Swanson.
Oh, right.
Paul
Okay.
Johnny Swanson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Taught me everything. And
Right.
He was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
He played cricket as well for
He
Victoria.
did. And we played against him regularly at Brunswick, didn't we? Yeah. Yeah.
Good player.
What a champion. So to learn off him would have been
It
sensational.
was great.
Mm.
He wouldn't hold back. He'd teach you everything.
Yes, yeah. With your baseball, how many times do you play for Victoria?
2 Claxton Shields, 1977 and 1978.
Right, okay.
One was in Perth and one was in Brisbane.
Yeah, were they successful Victorian teams?
In Perth we got done by West Australia the last game.
Mm-hmm.
Brisbane we struggled.
Yeah.
We really struggled in Brisbane.
Yeah, yeah.
But Perth we got down to the last game. If we won the Claxton Shield.
Right.
They beat us.
Mm. So how many games did you play for Coburg?
Phew. Good question.
Yeah.
Be well over 300.
Right, okay. Amazing.
Well over 300.
Wow. How did your arm hold up to that?
It held up well until I got dropped from the first later in my career.
Yeah.
And they threw me on the mound on the twos. I was throwing these curveballs and snapped my elbow tendons.
Oh,
I was throwing the curveball.
yeah.
Which sort of, because I used to have a pretty strong arm,
You could say that.
and after that it went.
Right.
But I could still throw, but not as hard as I used to.
Yeah, yeah.
I did a stupid thing of pitching in the second because I was upset because I got dropped.
Fantastic. What was the highlight of your baseball career?
Winning 3 flags in a row at Coburg in the A grade. We had a fantastic side. We're the only club in Australia that had 3 Helms Award winners, which is the best player in Australia.
Yep.
They all played at Coburg.
Right. Johnny Deeble?
No, he played at Preston.
Did he?
John Swanson, Neil Buzzard,
Yeah.
Ronnie McGyver.
Right. Okay, I've heard of McGyver as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were our side was fantastic.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Mm. Did you play baseball, Brett?
Yeah, I played. That was predominantly what I did my junior years. I didn't take up cricket at a club until I was 15.
Yeah.
And we just alternated between winter baseball at Greensboro and summer baseball at Coburg. That's all I knew pretty much.
Okay.
Um,
What was your forte?
I suppose I was a middle infielder, shortstop. Well, I moved around a bit. Second base, shortstop, third base,
Mm-hmm.
bat and clean up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How many games did you play?
I didn't play any senior games because I stopped before then, but I played, was it 2 Victorian underage?
Under 14s.
Yeah, under 14s, under 16s.
Yeah.
In Perth in South Australia. And then cricket pretty much took over after that.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you came to Preston in the under 16s.
Guess who got me down there?
No.
Jack Potter.
Jack Potter recruited you.
I was playing with Northern Socials under 16s and we were playing Preston.
Yeah.
Dad was down there and he knew Jack Potter
Yeah.
because Jack played baseball as
He
well.
did. Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, I'd like your son to come down to Preston." And Dad goes, "Jack Potter's invited you down to Preston, you better go."
I can just imagine Ernie saying that.
Yeah. And I never looked back.
Yeah.
Great time,
Yeah.
35 years,
Amazing. How many games do you reckon you played?
about 480.
480. When I was coming here, I was trying to work it out because I know that you played either 200 or 201 games from 1989 onwards, and you must have played, because you played in the first time you played in the seniors was about 74, 75 in the ones.
Oh, in the ones and twos when I started 70, 71.
Yeah, so I was sort of thinking, you must have played 150, 160 games over that period, plus whatever finals came along. So that's a fair effort, 35 years. Yeah, life member.
Life member, yes. In 1985 was a real honour to me.
Yeah.
Because you had to play 15 years straight at Preston.
That's right.
You couldn't have a year off.
Yeah. So you came down in the under 16s.
Yep.
Played how many seasons in the under 16s? One or
One.
two? One. Okay. And you would have been in that side with Nort.
Nort, David Robinson.
Yep.
Who else was there? Can't remember.
Trevor.
Trevor was there, yeah.
Carby.
Parker, yep.
Scratch.
No.
No. Okay. And then you came into the seniors, and I remember it pretty well.
Started in the fifths.
Under Dion.
Under Dion.
Down at Mont Park.
That was an incredible ground.
Yeah. Did you play with Peter Johnston?
Certainly did.
Did you? Yeah.
He was around for a fair while.
He was. Yeah. Great player.
Fantastic player.
Had an amazing performance in the under 16s, didn't he? I think.
Oh, he was excellent.
Yeah.
The figures, what he was putting up was incredible.
Yeah.
The numbers.
That's right. So when you came into the ones at Preston, you would have been under Dick Telford in your first year.
Yeah, under Dick, yes.
Yeah. David Jeffrey.
The stick man was playing.
Yeah. Of course, the great man Eddie.
Great man Eddie Ruttenford.
Yeah.
I always remember Eddie were playing Moorabbin. Carl Hooper was playing for Moorabbin. I always remember this first over.
Yeah.
Eddie's been hit for a six into the council club car park. Never forget that. He went on to make 110 or something.
121. I was fielding at short leg that day, and he came into bat with a brand new bat. And after he hit that six, there was a big red cherry in the middle of the bat. Anyway, 115 runs later, it was just a bit bigger, that cherry.
He was unbelievable.
He was. But you walked into a pretty good side. And
very strong.
Yeah. You added to it because you're a hard-hitting batter. And
didn't like running much.
No. Yeah. was pretty hard to hit fours at Preston, but in the day, wasn't it?
Well, a slow outfield and a slow wicket.
Yes.
Not what it is these days.
That's right.
Unbelievable.
That's right. And you added considerably to the fielding depths of the club because we had Deeble, who was fantastic.
Juggling Staples.
Yeah, but just in that first era, Deeble, I think Gostray, Kenny was there. And then there were some other guys who were just fantastic in their various craft. Yeah. Did you play in the grand final that year?
Which year was that?
74, in your first year?
I think I did.
Down at Elsternwick?
Yes.
You did, yeah.
We wouldn't drop down
Okay, yeah. Against Doble on a track which,
there. Track road.
yeah, ran along the ground. Brett, when did you start at Preston?
2000-2001 was my first season there,
Yeah.
which has been well documented in previous interviews.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best seasons ever at Preston, with 4 sides making the grand final. We're discussing it off air actually. It's kind of funny because we defeated Sunshine in the grand final, and they're undefeated all year. So as Dad said, 3 of their players ended up playing ones the next year. So it's a pretty fair achievement actually.
Yeah.
I mean, to have 4 sides make the finals, let alone 4 sides make a grand final, is
Phenomenal.
pretty unique achievement.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's just a great place to be around.
Yeah.
You know, we trained hard, we played hard, and we paid it even harder. And it's just a great place to be. Just a mixture of experience and youth, and to see sort of blokes move through the grades.
Yep. You were a medium pacer?
Yeah.
What was your strength?
Just try to bowl as quick as I could, really.
Right, yeah.
Just develop just nice line and length, and just try to worry the batsman out of it, I guess.
Yeah. Who did you learn off the most down
there? Stewie Hensley was a great bowler, but he was only sort of there for 1 or 2 years I was there. I learned a little bit off him, but more so in my developing and moving through it was Kevin Lowe.
Yes. Yeah.
Great cricketer, great all-round cricketer.
Yeah.
Learn a lot off him.
Yeah.
Just the discipline and where to bowl, how to bowl, different lengths, style balls, things like that.
Yeah.
He was always there to ask a question. He always had an answer for it.
Yeah.
And that just comes with experience. But I mean, Molly was a great bowler. Learned a lot of him. And it's just great playing under blokes, like Hobbs. Sean Brown was great. A lot of people that had played Premier Cricket, which could impart that knowledge back to some of the younger blokes at sub-district level. So there was no shortage of good players at Preston, that's for sure.
Being a big bloke, what sort of batter were you?
Well, again, like that, I didn't...
You used to hit the ball hard.
Yeah, I didn't like running too much.
That's running in the family, I think.
Yeah. I was probably a bit... You'd probably back me up here. I was probably a bit different to Dad. I probably liked to play more through the V.
Right.
Whereas Dad liked to just smash the short ball square of the wicket.
Yeah.
Try to be a little bit more traditional. Sometimes it got me in a bit more trouble than it should have, but...
generally between second and third base, it sort of went, didn't it?
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah. But no, I enjoyed my batting.
Yeah.
Worked hard on it. And I mean, as Carp said the other week, like, you have to, particularly in that era we played at Preston, you needed to have more than one string to your bow.
Yeah.
And you had to be a strong fielder as well.
Yeah.
It's just important to work on all 3 disciplines.
Yeah.
And I think that's what made, at the time, the era we played in, I think that's what set Preston apart was, people had all 3 tools pretty much.
Yes, yeah.
And you're starting to see a lot more of that now with the increase in 2020 cricket, and you've got to be a 3-tool player now.
Yep.
You just can't rely on the one skill set.
That's right. Brett, looking at the record, I think your second year in the ones you won the batting average, 26.8 or something.
Something like that.
At 185 runs, and people might say, geez, you win a batting average with 185, but it was worth about 300 to 350.
When you played Kramer Street with the long grass and slow wicket,
yes,
you had to lock for the ball to score runs.
That's right. You won the batting average another 2 times over the next half dozen years. So, to everyone who didn't see Wayne bat, he was a magnificent bat when he got going.
I had to get going.
Yeah. Get past that first.
Get past the first 10.
Yeah.
I always remember Neil Kilpatrick,
Mm-hmm.
because I used to always go out early on between 0 and 10, edging a ball to slips.
Mm-hmm.
And Keller said, Wayne, I want you to step across your stumps. First move, step across,
Yep.
get in line and play like that.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since I did that, I found it a godsend.
Right. Okay.
It was a winner.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when I got lazy and just didn't do that,
Yeah.
I was very iffy outside the off stump.
Yeah. What's the innings you remember most?
Actually, the one I do remember is 115 I made against Werribee in the thirds.
Right. What was special about that?
Well, we were 9 down
Right.
when Ben Sutter came out to bat with me. And this little young wicketkeeper called me an old
You can't say that. You can't say that.
and I said, you can call me a don't call me old. You'll pay for it. When I went out after I went out 115, I turned around to the keeper and I said, did you learn, son? Don't mouth off to old men. It was just unbelievable.
Oh, what a story. What about in the ones? Who was the best bowler you faced?
Probably Gladstone Small.
Yeah, he bowled quick, didn't he?
Tried to get inside him to hook, no way.
Yeah.
I remember Joe Bunga and myself were batting against him, and we kept playing and missing balls, bouncing over the stumps, and you pitch one short, you go to get inside, you couldn't get inside, you just had to duck.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Who did you learn the most off as an opposition in the opposition? You learned off Nookie Swanson playing with him at baseball, but what about with your cricket?
Sort of Hobbs.
Yeah.
He was a very good teacher.
Mm-hmm.
They're all, I had that many coaches, it's hard to sort of say who was.
Well, you mentioned Killer before as well.
That one always sticks in my mind because he also dressed me down one game against Coburg in the ones, and I made 90 odd and went out to a part-time spinner, came off the ground and he's come into the room and gave me a lecture.
Right.
Why'd you throw your wicket away? And I was young bloke at the time, I didn't realise, but what he said that day, I realised later in life what he meant.
Yes.
Don't throw your wicket away. You've got them on the ropes.
Yeah.
And I try to put that through to all the kids that when I was captain the thirds and the fourths, put value on your wicket.
Mm-hmm.
But I've made 90 odd, I should be happy.
Yeah.
Until I said, sit down. Well, I thought it was a bit rough, but in hindsight, when you look back at it, he was totally right.
Yeah. And Brett, what do you recall about your performances? What sort of stands out? What's a game or an innings or?
Just trying to think about this. I seem to save my best all-round performances for Q and Ivanhoe for whatever reason.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Seem to regularly take poles and get runs against that mob.
Yeah.
Gavin Nekretzer and I put on 100 and something for the fourth wicket partnership at Q one day.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the biggest performance that stands out with the ball was I took 7 for 38 or something against Endeavour Hills at Endeavour Hills, but that was wicket assisted. Like, you couldn't see when we turned. It was like Peter Norris picked me up. We went to the ground. Dad said it was like something out of the Griswolds. There was that much gear in this car, and we pulled up to Endeavour Hills, and you could not distinguish the wicket from the square. It was almost like a golfing green.
Yeah.
And I just ran up and just kept hitting the same length all day. It was just popping everywhere, and some would shoot through head height, the others would skim through them, and just lucky enough to get 7, I guess. But
I don't think it's luck because a lot of other bowlers bowl on those sort of wickets and don't get 7 for them. Do they? It's being able to put it consistently where you
in
need
the right
spot.
area.
But bowling at Cramer Street was tough work. It was, you needed a knee tag on your helmet there. It was flat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I did nick off Adam Dale for a first ball duck, which is
Okay.
That was pretty fun. It's a great catch from Sean Brown too, one of the all-time great catches.
Right. Whereabouts?
It's second slip, diving in front of first.
Oh,
so
wow.
I'm glad he took it because shouldn't have been first. Shouldn't have been Weary's, I reckon. It was Daisy at first slip, one or two. But anyway, that was a highlight.
Yeah.
But the premiership, The premiership stands out above anything else.
Yeah, that was the thirds.
Fourths, yeah.
Fourth.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
Yeah.
And you were playing together.
Yeah. And then, like as I said, like Sunshine were undefeated all year.
Yeah.
And they were head and shoulders better than anyone else in the comp.
Yeah.
But even like the semi-final we played Q, and we didn't get that many. I came in late with like a 30 or something. Daling made it 50 or 60, and I think we placed like 124, 127.
Yeah.
And they were laughing coming off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And both Dad and Dave Robb are like, runs on the board, scoreboard pressure.
Yeah.
Next minute I get 4 for 16, and they're all out for 77 or something, and we're in the final. So
yeah.
The final was great.
Yeah.
That
was at Sunshine too.
At Sunshine.
Yeah.
Right.
On the first 11 round, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, on the main round.
We thought we wouldn't play because they finished on top.
Yeah.
And it bucketed rain for the whole week.
Yeah.
We've got the Sunshine, take the covers off. It's sticky. When I said to Dave Robbie, what are we going to do? I said, we have to play. So we played, got sent in. I made about 60 odd and Dave Robbie made about 40 odd. We ended up putting a score of about 160 on the board, which wasn't too bad. But
it's defendable.
they got me up by, they bowled a beam ball at me.
Right.
Then the next ball they pitched it short and I edged. As the guy went past, said, make sure you wear a helmet tomorrow.
Okay.
He'd come out to bat next day with the helmet. It was too small for him, just stuck on.
Right.
He walked past me and slipped. I said, good to see you got a helmet on because here it comes. And Brett goes, what do you want? I want to bowl a bounce round. I said, no, just bowl him a Yorker straight up at the stumps, first ball.
Right.
So Brett just Yorker, middle stump, bowled for a duck, first ball, walked past me. I said, I told you didn't need your helmet. But that was good because Dave Robbie played with his son Michael.
Yep.
And I played with Brett, and it was just fantastic.
What a memory to look back on. You'll cherish it forever.
Oh.
How many games did you play together, roughly?
Wasn't many after that, I think.
No, he sort of went up the ladder pretty quick.
Right.
Filled in a couple of times, but we didn't. It would have only been 20 or so, maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't that many.
Yeah.
The older you get, the more cherished that memory is going to be.
Totally get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did want me to play in his he did want me to play in his 400s, but work got in the way with that one. So that's probably one I regret.
Yeah. Well, over 400 games, 10,000 runs. I don't think that'll be surpassed at Preston in the immediate future.
Well, if you play there long enough, you will.
No, you still got to get them.
Yeah.
You still got to get them. That's a hell of a lot of runs. Yeah.